What is up, guys? My name's D-Free. Welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super discussion video. And for today's video, me and my guest and I, will be talking about the upcoming Tournament of Power, which should be happening like within the next couple of episodes now. So anyways, we're going to talk about what we are most hyped for. And at any point in the comment section down below, go down there and leave a comment and say, hey, this is what I am most excited for and why. So anyways, for today's video, I am joined by the extinguished... Yeah, it's real. So, how you doing today, man?
It's always good. Thanks for having me, D-Free.
Not a problem, bro. So, anyways, like I said, upcoming Tournament of Power, a lot of stuff is going to happen. We're going to get introduced to a lot of new characters. I don't think we're going to get introduced to as many as people sort of thought we were, because they've been kind of shaving off the number of characters we'll actually see, you know, as far as like universe not having to participate and stuff like that. But regardless, you know, we've already kind of seen the groundwork for a lot of new characters in the last couple of episodes, like Brienne and all these different things, or whatever her name is, that freaking Teletubby looking chick. But, you know, we're coming across a lot of new characters. So I want to go ahead and throw it over to you. Whether it's the characters, whether it's potential interactions or things like that, what are one of the things that you personally are most hyped for in the upcoming Tournament of Power?
I really want to see and this is kind of me speculating on what would probably happen, and a lot of people have called me out on this. Obviously, in the most of the community, I'm one of the Hit fanboys. I really don't want them to basically nullify Hit or nerf Hit going into this particular tournament. So the one thing I came up with, something I would really like to see, is when he comes in, personally, something MJ came up with is like when he comes in, if everyone knows who he is, and it's not just because Universe 6 and 7 are basically twins of each other, so everyone knows, or at least the gods and the angels and all those people who mean or matter or pay attention know who the legendary Hitman of Universe 6 is. It'd be really interesting if, like, the Pride Troopers know who he is, or, you know, whatever the Teletubby girl's name is, like, all of them know who Hit is because he just has that type of reputation. Plus, it'd give a little bit more context to the cube and why he wanted the cube and everything, especially if everyone knows him. But one thing I'd really like to see is, be it either like midway through the tournament or early into the tournament, I don't want to just see Hit fight Jiren. That's what everyone wants to see. I want to see Hit fight Jiren, then be on equal playing fields, and then Topo basically stepping in when Jiren doesn't want him to make them get the win off of Hit. That way, you don't nullify Hit. He was just as strong as Jiren, but the Pride Troopers are forced to be reckoned with. And I feel like that works really well with character-wise, because you realize that they're not as copacetic as they seem, especially with what we saw in the last episode, where obviously Topo is having a meeting and somebody was like, the guy with the eye is supposed to be there, but he's off trying to save a cat or something. So maybe they aren't like as choreographed as they seem with all of their kind of pretty movements and Super Sentai type stuff. And even though they're supposed to be, at least for all the other universes, probably the heroes at the end, it would be like the first major glimpse of just like these guys aren't as good and everything isn't as black and white as it seems. And I think that's what we need as an audience, taking out someone like Hit and also showing the cracks with the Pride Troopers very early on. I think that would be really hype.
That'd be pretty cool. Do you think that the Pride Troopers have like a lot of plot armor or something of that nature? Because it feels like they built them up in that way to where they're going to protect them. I mean, that's similar to what they did to Hit in the previous tournament, but I can honestly see them kind of putting Hit in a position where he gets bodied by somebody like Jiren, like you said.
Well, that's the point. Like, I feel like, yeah, they've done a lot in this show to protect somebody like Hit, but when it comes to the Pride Troopers, I agree. I mean, who doesn't think that this is going to come down to somebody in Universe 7 versus somebody in Universe 11? That's the ultimate fight of this tournament that we're all looking forward to, be it Goku and Jiren, or, you know, we could talk about this later, it could potentially even be Gohan versus Jiren. But I'm sure a lot of people want to see that fight. A lot of people want the Pride Troopers to be super strong and the forces to be reckoned with. But I still think that they can't be the good guys coming into this. They can't be the good guys going out of this. Goku has to kind of sway everyone's opinion. I've said it before, is like, this is a Rocky moment. This is going to be the Rocky 4 moment where Goku goes into Russia like or Rocky goes into Russia as a bad guy, and by the end of the fight everyone's chanting his name in Russia. So basically winning the Cold War. That's what this is going to be for Goku. So I feel like in terms of them having like the plot armor, it's going to help them forward. But I mean, if they wrote it smartly, they need to basically show us that they're not the good guys that they seem, at least to all the other universes. But I don't think that makes them bad guys though. That's
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, that makes sense. I mean, my thing is that personally, what I want to see, you know me, I'm such a big like fanboy of, you know, interaction, right? I want to see stuff like that, and just kind of some of the ways that, you know, you can see these characters, specifically on Universe 7 right now, and of course this kind of translates to the other universes too, seeing the way that they intertwine with one another, and, you know, the way that they come up with battle strategies and things like that. Some of the, you know, the combinations that these teams can rattle off, the combination attacks, similar to like what Gohan and Piccolo did a few episodes ago, or a couple episodes ago, or whatever. You know, some of the things that can happen that way, but not just that. Also, stuff along the lines of, you know, just verbiage, like what these guys are talking about, the dialogue. So, you know, you could put these guys in weird situations where you have, I don't know, Vegeta meeting Caulifla, right? And he's like, female Super Saiyans? What is going on here? You know, like, and of course, seeing what's the word? Seeing Kaba being reunited with Vegeta again, saying, "Hey, Master, I've gotten stronger. Not only am I stronger, I've got to beat you. Not only am I in a position where I've got to beat you, I've got a couple other female Saiyans with me, you know, like, and just stuff like that. You know, that's what I'm a big fanboy for. I live for those moments as far as Dragon Ball Super goes. And sometimes they deliver that stuff, sometimes they don't. And one of the things I really wanted to see in the Trunks arc was Goten and meeting future Trunks. And it's like he does meet him at the end, but there's like nothing meaningful there at all.
Trunks just like waves him off. He's like, I don't got time for that crap right now.
Yeah, exactly. And like, so things like that. And it'd be pretty cool to see like Android 17, because, you know, Goku already name dropped Goten. He was like, who's Goten? He's like, oh, he's my son. You know, like, oh, this is your son. And of course, you know, just progressing from there. Android 17 with Marin and just all these different things is all I truly care about. You know, and we don't know who all will be on the final roster. They're kind of playing with it a little bit. It's starting to look like Android 17, or excuse me, Android 18 and Krillin aren't going to be there, which they probably will. I don't know. But just relations, without getting into spoilers, you know, as far as people that can interact from Universe 6 to Universe 7, aside from, you know, Vegeta and Kabe, just that's what I live for, you know?
Yeah.
But it would be cool to see them put Hit in a position where he's getting dominated by a character like Jiren, to put Jiren over, and then have somebody from Universe 7, you know, have to be the one to put Jiren down, basically, to go ahead and defeat him, and everything that could kind of come along with that, because you kind of have stroked Hit long enough if you're the super staff. It's like every time they show Hit, it's like he's gotten stronger. But these characters have gotten stronger too, but he's still on their level. So innately, if you have him lose to a character like Jiren, you're like, okay, well, he's there. Jiren must be above him. That means that this guy needs to be above that. You know? So, I don't know. It could be pretty cool in that regard.
The one thing, okay, talking about like character interactions or things that we want to see, just kind of rattle off a couple here. I mean, you talked about the girl from Universe 2, the kind of Sailor Moon-esque female Power Ranger, Super Sentai type of thing, crime fighter. That, you know, obviously we saw her and her transformation. I think that's actually absolutely primed for what Roshi's going through right now, trying to get rid of his pervy nature. In fact, like, he can't necessarily kind of get over that, but then she transforms and then he's kind of okay with it, and we get some real funny context there, like kind of interaction between them. Also with her, because we see her and Vegeta fighting in the intro, it'd be really interesting to see how Vegeta kind of reacts to her kind of flowery, I guess, skill set or move set, whatever you'd want to call it. Like, that's something I'd really like to see Frieza interacting with Kaba and Caulifla, or even Kale. A lot of people want to see Frieza fight Kale, just because everyone in the community has always wanted to see Broly versus Frieza and how that would basically end up. So that's something you could definitely do. Frost versus Frieza would be pretty awesome, in my opinion. Just kind of seeing, they're not the same person. A lot of people say that those two guys are the same people, and I find that really hard to believe, considering the fact that Frost had his own way of going about this stuff, and it didn't necessarily create any kind of prejudice or fear or anger towards the Saiyan race, because you remember the Saiyan race didn't have a Super Saiyan transformation for them. Like that, it wasn't even a rumor, or at least it seems like it's not even a thing. It's not something to worry about. But for Frieza, it was always something to worry about, and why he kept them so far under his heel, because he didn't want them like actually discovering that legendary power, or he was afraid that somebody might actually discover that power. So, you know, despite everything that we've learned in Super, is one of the reasons he blew up Planet Vegeta. And without Frost having ever had that fear, and him fighting alongside on the same team with them for so long, even if he was playing, you would imagine that he doesn't necessarily have the same animosity towards the Saiyans that Frieza does. And just seeing how Frieza is going to be in Universe 7's team, if he actually is going to be on Universe 7 teams.
I want you to know just real quick that I purposely avoided saying that, and you went ahead and did it anyway.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I'm saying. It's still speculative. I do wanna,
no, you're good. You're good. No biggie. I mean, if people didn't know by now, I mean, it's been long enough. Damn it.
I don't know when you're gonna post this. We're about to see the episode. There's been spoilers, but yeah, I'm sorry for spoilers. But yeah, like you don't necessarily know what's gonna happen, but I would imagine for the most part that when Frieza comes in, since he can't beat up Saiyans in Universe 7, he'd be more than willing to beat up Saiyans in Universe 6, and that's something that would be pretty interesting to see.
That could be. You know, as far as Frieza's just general, like, speaking on him specifically because we brought him up, just kind of like thinking about the interactions he can have and just the dialogue, like, oh, I'm in this uncomfortable position, I have to fight with you guys, if he does wind up doing so. But not only that, you know, looking at it and saying, okay, well, he's going to have to come to the realization that there are these Zenos. This universe is going to get destroyed. There are all these other universes. This mirror universe has Saiyans that basically coexisted with your doppelganger, basically, from that universe, and you guys were fighting crime together. Like, he's going to be like, what the hell is going on? You know, and of course, seeing, what's it called? What's his face? Frost over there too. It's going to be a hell of a revelation for Frieza specifically, because he's so out of the loop with all of this stuff, and he's going to just be all over the place. So
plus he's so self-centered. Like the fact that, you know, he's always considered himself a prodigy, or he considers himself like one of a kind for the most part. Like no one could be him. And the fact that there is another him.
Oh, he's going to lose it. He's going to be livid. Oh yeah, that's
totally
so
not
great.
special.
I know, it's gonna be so great. Like, imagine Broly just meeting Kale. It's like, Kakarot. So, what is this?
Kale just like Kale. She's already kind of a mute as it is for what we've seen. We've never seen her talk or anything.
Yeah, she's a stalker. So every time we see her, she's stalking Frost or Kabe. Excuse me. So that'll be hella fun. Anyways.
Yeah, totally.
Thank you, man, for joining me. If you guys are not already subscribed to Mark, go ahead and go to the description, click on it, and I'm not going to say he'll leave you eargasms because that's what MJ does, but he makes really good content. So, anyways, any other closing words here, bro?
No, I agree with you, though. Like, in terms of, we're going to get some hella fights in this particular arc, honestly, but yeah, like, you're absolutely right. The one thing that we want to look forward to is character interactions and character moments, and if there's been any arc in Dragon Ball Super that's just ripe with potential possibilities, I mean, I would say it's kind of too much to talk about in a 15-minute video or something, just to consider every possible thing they could do, and how much stuff are they actually going to deliver on is kind of agonizing. I just want to see it already.
Yeah, definitely. I feel the same way. It's like, we're almost there. We've been waiting for like 2 months, 2.5 months, something like that. Almost. It's almost paid off. So, anyways, we'll catch you guys later. Have an awesome day. Peace out.